Hello everyone. I was looking in the Echo a little while ago and I saw an advert for Sega games. It said 56 Sega games, console and joystick. I phoned up the man and asked what kind of Sega games they were. He said he didn't know. I went round the next day and he explained to me that he had done a job for someone and that they had died, and so the person's wife had given him these games as part exchange for the work done, because they owed quite a lot of money. And this is what I got. He had 2 MegaDrive 2s, a MegaDrive 1 manual, manuals for the Terminator and James Bond on MegaDrive, 2 controllers. This one has turbo buttons and this one has turbo switches, but both of them have slow motion switches on the back. Also an arcade power stick, which is a joystick with mega fire buttons, and here you can change the speed of the turbo fire. And also there were all of these games. Now, for those of you who don't enjoy watching videos of people flashing games up against the screen, I'm going to try and tell you a little bit about a few of the games. But first off, I'll show you what I actually have. Animaniacs, The Adventures of Batman and Robin, Bonkers, Bubble and Squeak, Classic Collection, which has Gunstar Heroes, Altered Beast, Flicky, and Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle, Daffy Duck in Hollywood, Desert Demolition starring Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote, Donald in Maui Mallard, Earthworm Jim, which I always enjoyed as a child, Eternal Champions, Flink, The Lion King, McDonald's Treasureland Adventure, and Mega Bomberman, which I'll tell you a bit about. I really liked this as a child. This is one of the few Mega Drive games I actually had. Most people don't actually like the story mode of it, but I actually found that really good, where you get to like jump in the mine carts and traverse across the big levels they had on there. The other thing I liked about it was, as you can see on the cover, the kangaroos, or the Louis as they're called, which all had different abilities. Some of them, they'd run really fast, some you could kick bombs, some you could teleport, all these different things. And the funny thing is though, on the back, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a when you get a Louis, an egg appears. It's an egg on its side, and it's got some. It just looks like a dinosaur egg. Except as a child, it looked to me like a ghost's face. So I always used to think that we were riding on ghosts, which was a bit strange. But next up we have Mr. Nuts, Miss Pac-Man, Pac Panic, The Page Master, which was made after that film from the 90s by the same name, and Pinocchio. Next up we have The Ren and Stimpy Show presents Stimpy's Invention, and Rystar, which I've done a little bit of research on, and originally Sonic was going to be a rabbit, Sonic the Hedgehog was going to be a rabbit, but due to the high speed of the game, they decided that he needed to be able to roll up to attack his enemies, because imagine if Sonic could only kill enemies by jumping on their heads, you'd be pretty screwed. But, and since hedgehogs can roll up, they dropped the idea of having a rabbit. But later, they started development on that game with the rabbit separately, and they made a prototype called Feel. But by this time, the character no longer used his ears, instead he used his arms. And as you can see in the back there, like he's going down the pole with his arms, and he's hanging by his arms, and you can see how that would have been his ears. But like they decided to go for the arms instead. But originally, they were going to call this Rystar the Shooting Star. Then they thought maybe calling it Deckstar, until they settled on Rystar, which is what we have today. Next up we have Taz in Escape from Mars, Vector Man, Yogi Bear Cartoon Capers, and Zoop. Now those were all the games that had blue on the side, and I don't know why they have it like that. I know that like these ones, they are done by EA, so they all fit together. But these ones are just regular. Were they like this the official Sega ones or something? But then again, Sonic the Hedgehog wasn't blue, so I don't know. If anyone can tell me, that'd be really helpful. But then on to the EA games. I've got Blades of Vengeance, Risky Woods, Rollo to the Rescue, Shadow of the Beast, Skitchin, and Zool. And other than Skitchin, it seemed as though EA were making good games back on the Mega Drive. It's a shame they started doing all the sports titles and only sports titles now. Then I have an Electronic Genesis game, James Bond 2, codenamed Robocod. And then the Genesis games, there's Devilish, Dragon's Fury, which I'll tell you a little bit more about later, and Tailspin. And then there are two more games. There is some unofficial ones. There's Boogerman, a pick and flick adventure, which looks to be like a proper game. It's not ripped off anywhere or anything. The only thing is that it's not very colourful. Like most games are quite colourful on the Mega Drive, but this one's quite dark. But it's not officially endorsed by Sega, so I have no idea what this is. And then they had a pirate cart which has Comic Zone, the Flintstones, Battletoads, Little Mermaid, and Robocop 3 on it, which, yeah, it's just the same on both sides. Then we have Atomic Runner, Biohazard Battle, which after seeing Pete George's review of this, I was really happy to find out this. Bubsy 2, Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse, Cheeky Cheeky Boys, DJ Boy, Dragon's Fury, which again I'll tell you a bit about in a minute, Fantasia, McDonald's Global Gladiators, Disney's The Jungle Book, Kid Chameleon, The Ultimate Lemmings, Mega Games 1, which has Super Hang-On Columns and World Cup Italia 90, The Ossifants, Pac-Mania, and 2 copies of Sonic the Hedgehog. Then Tolmit's Adventure, Buster's Hidden Treasure, Tiny Toon Adventures, Toe Jam and Earl in Panic on Funkotron, Toki Going 8-Bit, World of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, Zoom, and then 2 others that wouldn't quite fit. There's just a blank case which has Aladdin in it, and Super Fantasy Zone, which is really hard to read. Now, I mentioned earlier I was going to talk about Dragon's Fury, and you might have noticed I have 2 of them. One is the Mega Drive version and one is the Genesis version, so I thought I'd do a comparison of the box arts. Firstly, on the Mega Drive version, the little demon's leg is behind the line, whereas here he's much bigger and over the top of the line. Secondly, the dragon is actually bigger over here, as you might be able to see. You can also see that the ball is a bit bigger and goes much further out to the edge of the case. Also, the line, the Tengen line, is much thinner on the Mega Drive version than on the Genesis version. And there is, here, for the Mega Drive version, it says the best 3D pinball game in the world, which is quite a claim. And on Genesis it says a pinball game beyond your wildest fantasies. And then the other thing is that on the Mega Drive version there are quite a few languages, as you can see, so there's not that much description of it. There's still 4 pictures, just like on the Genesis version, but they're much smaller, and all that text, there's so much more to describe it on the Genesis version, which is one thing that was better about not having multiple language carts. But yeah, as you can, and on the side, the actual letters are different. Even though on the front they're fairly similar, this one's slightly more red, on the side, the Genesis version is just plain yellow text. So yes, overall I was really happy with this MegaDrive haul I got. The only thing that's wrong with it is that the guy before me who had it was a smoker, so quite a lot of it smells quite smoky. Hopefully that'll come out over time, but that's a bit of a shame. And now the bit you've all been waiting for, which is how much I got this for. And I got all of this, the consoles, the controllers, and all 62 games. It was advertised for £30, and I managed to talk them down to 25. So I think that's probably the best deal I've ever got on any games console or any game ever. So I thought you would all like to see that.